Katie.
And I'm Kay.
And you're listening to the Babes of Quinte podcast. The Family Dental Center is all about community support through fundraising and community involvement, and they are just as dedicated to nurturing a positive work atmosphere for their team.
Whether you've been fortunate enough to experience their positivity in person at their offices or witness their unwavering support and encouragement for one another on social media, you've had the privilege of glimpsing into their incredible teamwork.
FDC is not just a workplace, it's a supportive family committed to uplifting one another.
To learn more about the Family Dental Center team and stay up to date about all the great things they're doing, follow them on Facebook at Family Dental Center and Instagram at FDC Family.
You have listened to us talk about the amazing experience we had and the wonderful people we met at Brazen 2023.
Now it's time to mark your calendar for Brazen 2024, hosted by Simple Desk.
This full-day experiential event for women by women is happening on May 31st, 2024 at Cherry Val in Picton.
It's a day full of networking, support, delicious food, giveaways, vendor booths, and an inspiring panel of female entrepreneurs sharing their inspiring stories.
Tickets go on sale November 1st. For more information, visit simpledesk.ca/brazen and follow Brazen on Instagram at brazenevents1.
Diamond Physiotherapy, from the very beginning, set out to challenge traditional physiotherapy by reconnecting people with their bodies, both physically and mentally.
The team at Diamond Physiotherapy is dedicated to treating the whole person. They have the resources and tools to treat immediate injuries and often address the root cause.
They recognize that every client has unique goals and challenges. No matter what the challenge may be, they will create an individualized treatment plan using the services they offer, including physiotherapy, vestibular rehabilitation, and psychotherapy.
To learn more and get a treatment plan that works for you, visit diamondphysiotherapy.ca and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Diamond Physiotherapy.
Events on the Rocks is all about helping you truly live in the moments that matter by removing the stress from events of any size.
Ashley, the mastermind behind Events on the Rocks, loves the hospitality industry. She founded the business to offer custom event planning services and day of coordination, ensuring your events are smooth and stress-free.
But that's not all. Events on the Rocks has a one-of-a-kind mobile full-service bar that can roll up to any event, leaving your guests in awe with an array of cocktails, mocktails, and mouth-watering snacks.
You can learn more about Events on the Rocks and meet Ashley at the 2023 Quinte Wedding Show on October 22nd. Purchase advance tickets at eventsontherocks.com and make sure to follow Events on the Rocks on Facebook and Instagram at events_on-the-rocks.
My tummy hurts. I have nervous belly.
Why do you have nervous belly?
Unsure. Up in the air.
Just cause.
Just cause.
Just anxiety.
Stress. Okay, let's turn you on.
Did you not get on the plane?
She's on the plane. She's on her way home. Thank goodness.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah. And it's raining. Because my head tells me when it's raining, I didn't sleep well because I got a migraine in the middle of the night. And I was like, why do I have a migraine right now? And then I went outside and I was like, oh, it's raining. So.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. Where's my hand?
Driving all around.
Yeah. So you're at home.
I'm at home.
I'm in the office.
You're in the office.
And we're doing a podcast. First one back.
Yeah. Oh my God, it is the first one back, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been away. I'm back.
I feel like you've been back forever, but also not.
It's been a weird first week back. It's been small business week. I had a weird sinus infection, so I was home on and off. I think I was jet lagged. I don't know. There's just your daughter has COVID. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, just lots of stuff.
You're spiraling.
So, story time. Yesterday, Katie drops off my computer charger. And first of all, I have a Ring camera.
I think you have to share the video eventually.
So I have a video of Katie walking up to my door, but there's also a squirrel. And the squirrel was apparently acting feral and running on the wall.
It was running on the wall, parkouring along the wall. And I don't trust small animals like squirrels, chipmunks. Mm-mm.
not a fan. Anyway, so I have Katie on my Ring camera just like talking to the squirrel, being like, no, we're not doing this.
We're not doing it. So.
And then she walks in, because was like on the couch, and she knocks on the door, and I'm just like, okay, just come in. So she comes in, and she was like, would you say, like, are you okay?
I was like, you don't look good. I was like, you don't look okay.
I'm not.
And you're like, I'm not. And I was like, cool. I think I said, are you okay? And then I was like, I don't think you are.
No.
You know, and you just know. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that night, like, I haven't showered. I'm wearing a t-shirt.
You need to shower. That's like big sad energy when you don't shower, you know?
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm wearing the same t-shirt right now that I wore yesterday.
You're depressed.
It's like a 3XL
But if you laugh, it's fine.
Bass Pro t-shirt. Do I fish? No.
Yeah, but who fishes? Like, okay, some people, but I feel like Bass Pro is just like a brand now. Like, I love Bass Pro. I love going to Bass Pro, looking at all the fish.
I love going to Bass Pro too.
So
I have no business being there, but like, I want like one of those. I want a little cap gun thing, or like a potato gun. What do they call them?
Oh, I don't know. A potato gun? You want a BB gun? What do you want?
Yeah, there we go. BB gun.
Oh, I had a BB gun growing up. We used to shoot
John
at
gave you a
cans.
BB gun.
Yeah, we used to shoot at things. We just weren't allowed to shoot at each other. Safe.
It's hilarious. Safety.
No ear protection, no eye protection. Just pelleting
I mean,
cans.
naturally, it's the 90s. Shit was wild and then.
Yeah. So I was in France. It was a good time. I'm back. Jeanette stayed and she traveled solo for a bit, which was all the plan. I think everyone was like, was that always the plan? I think people think something was wrong, but no, it's always the plan. But so she messaged me because she was listening to the podcast, and she came up with a drinking game for the podcast.
I love it.
If you don't drink, make it a mocktail. If you smoke, like if you are a marijuana
We
user,
can
modify it. I don't care what you do, but this is what she suggested.
Okay, go.
Every time her name is mentioned, take a sip. So if we say Jeanette.
Okay, well, I have a pumpkin chai right now, so I'm going to take a sip.
Anytime we mention her hands, chug your drink. Because
Okay, you know
it's
what,
mentioned a fair amount.
She has hot hands.
She's got good hands. If either of us cry, take 2 sips. If either of us diagnose someone with a mental illness, take 3 sips. If either of us make a bodily movement, take 2 sips. If anyone says plain chips are their favorite, finish your drink.
Plain chips are their favorite? That's
Shade.
hilarious.
We don't care. No, I love that, so I hope you play along and make your own rules. I don't know. People
I feel
say
like
we
need
cry
to
a
make this
lot.
a graphic to live on our feed.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down. And then like I was at the Mega Mingle for the chamber, which was like the PEC chamber, the Belleville chamber, and the Quinte West chamber. And someone was like, I listened to your podcast. I was like, great, you listen to me cry. And she was like, yeah. I was like, do you cry with us? And she's like, sometimes. I'm like, perfect.
Great.
It's exactly what
Honestly,
we're trying to do
actually,
here.
That's really comforting.
Yeah. Everyone's struggling.
No, it's just because I'm like, sometimes I'm crying and I'm just like, I need to like stop crying on the podcast. Like people are going to think I'm like a bundle of emotions, which I am, but all the time.
You're allowed to be a bundle of emotions.
I am mostly stable. That's debatable.
I'm going to therapy today. That's all I have to say.
I feel like, I need to go to therapy real bad. I got dumped this week.
I wasn't sure if we were going to talk about it.
No, we can talk about it because, I mean, at this point, there's no rules because he's not speaking with me.
Yeah, it's not great. 0 out of 10 on that situation. Text breakup? Mm-mm.
Yeah, well, 1, text breakup. 2, not a real reason.
Honestly.
3, when I asked for a reason a week later in a very kind, thought out letter, 0 response. So I'm going off assumption that I'm allowed to talk about being dumped in a way that I think is just a little bit disrespectful.
You know what? At least you acknowledge that, and I think that's big. I think too, like breakups are hard. Like in any breakups suck.
Absolutely.
And when there's a lot of uncertainty, and when you're already mentally unstable, like
it's mostly the fact that it just feels like it came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I mean, and everything's fine. Like, I have nothing bad to say about this person, like, at all. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's wonderful and everything is good. Oh no, my AirPod died. Okay, well, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, then it's fine. Anyways, long story short, I have nothing bad to say. I just wish it kind of ended a little bit differently.
That's fair. I
learned a lot though, which I think is like, it's like growth, right? And that's like what people do, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I learned a lot. It's like I learned like what I like in relationships, what I don't like in relationships, and like how I should be treated.
Mm-hmm. I think every relationship or like even a sexual encounter, like from a relationship, you learn what you want, what you don't want, what you deserve. From a sexual relationship, you learn what you like, you learn what you don't like, you learn what you want.
Exactly. Like everything has a reason.
No, I agree. And I think that's really important. I think this may be like, I don't think people should marry their high school sweethearts.
Oh, hard no.
Because I think you need to go find some. If you did and you're doing well, good on you. I love it for you. I just think like a lot of people not for me. I think if I married who I did in high school,
my life would be so different.
It'd be horrible.
Yeah, same. What I wanted in high school was not what I want now.
I think you're always growing. And even like Jeanette and I have been together 4.5 years, and you grow so much in that time, and we're still learning. Like as we've grown, we're now learning how to continue to live with each other and love each other and do all that fun stuff. You know?
Yeah, I think that's what like people don't. I think a lot of people, instead of communicating and being honest with each other and getting through the hard things, they tend to give up.
Relationships
like,
are
this
work.
Is insurmountable. And I'm just kind of like, I think there is a way through most things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like rough, like I'm talking like rough patches. I'm not talking like, abuse or any of those things. But like, I think there's a way to come back from, addiction and the things that come with that. I think there's ways to come back from mental health stuff and to support your partner through that. Like, I think that I just think that there's ways to get through those things. It's just really finding somebody who's willing to fight through it with you.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I think also like Charity said it in episode 2.
Yeah.
Go to couples therapy and do it before it gets bad, because there's always things you can improve on and do better. So that's my
Listen to Charity. Charity, honestly, that woman is a wealth of information and loveliness.
Said, a breakdown is not recommended.
A breakdown isn't recommended, which I'm currently doing.
Joke's on you, Charity. I always have a breakdown.
Love you.
Love you. This episode is really good though, and it kind of ties into this because she is helping people with their brains.
You know what? I should probably just like after we're done recording this is just like book a session with her.
Probably. Yeah. So this week we have the wonderful Lindy Thomson. I don't think there's a P, so I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong.
There's no P. It's Thompson.
Thompson. Am I saying it right?
Like Tom but not Tom.
Thompson.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a hypnotherapist?
Yeah, and I'm scared I'm going to say Renew Wellness. But she was so fun. Like
honestly, the vibes with this one.
The vibes are fun. We learned a lot, broke a lot of stigma around hypnotherapy. Think it's really cool.
Yeah, no, I think that this episode is really going to help some people and hopefully maybe open your minds to, I don't know, maybe try something new.
Mm-hmm. So,
because I'm trying something new.
Yeah.
So. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Let's be serious.
I guess enjoy the episode.
Yes.
It's a lesbian thing.
Fair enough. Hey, you got to have those.
Oh my God, it's too early. Okay.
I think it's great.
You would. Okay. Our next guest describes hypnotherapy as an effective and profound journey through healing, discovery, and change. And that sounds exactly the opposite of me because I'm so chaotic.
Same.
Lindy Thomson was born in Belleville and lived almost everywhere and decided to settle back in Quinte. Throughout her life, she found people naturally gravitating towards her and felt safe sharing things that they'd never told anybody. After realizing this was her calling, it led her to becoming a hypnotherapist, both online and through the Renew Wellness Clinic. We're going to dive into her journey, what hypnotherapy is, what it does, how it helps, some myths, and a lot more. Babes of Quinte, please welcome Lindy Thomson.
Thank you.
Wow. You wrote the intro, so I'm like, wow, this is going to be great.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just like, to be honest, I have no idea what hypnotherapy is, but it sounds very calming, and I feel like that's not
I think
me.
you're gonna.
But I think I would love it.
Awesome.
See, I've been hypnotized in therapy and I didn't like it. So now I'm ready to learn why
Awesome.
maybe I need to try it again.
Yeah, cool. Well, I mean, there are so many different types of hypnotherapists out there as well. There are, even in classes I've taken, people have had hypnotherapists that they did not like.
Oh, okay.
And some that they've loved. And so it's not always the same when you go and be hypnotized by somebody.
Yeah.
It is nothing like a stage show. I will tell you that, though.
What?
I've seen those.
Those
Yes.
at Queen's, like Frosh Week, that's one of the big things that happens. Is
Yes.
like the hypnotist comes and everyone's like, the hypnotist is here.
I can't make you quack like a duck. I don't even want to, though, really.
No.
You know, like,
We skipped something, though.
did we?
Oh, yeah, we did.
I need to know, what's your favorite potato chip?
Right. Oh, my gosh. So this is tough. Can I pick two?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
I
great.
mean, there's no rules.
Okay, I like no
Except
rules.
you yelling at me that sun chips aren't a potato chip.
Oh, I did
they're
hear
corn
about that.
Yeah, it was drama at Bocce.
Bocce drama.
Bocce was awesome, by the way.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us. That
was
was
fun.
so great.
Yeah, it was
Your
fun
crew
night.
was
It
fun.
was awesome.
Oh my God, they were. Like life of the party.
Right? So I really like Miss Vicky's smoked applewood barbecue. I guess
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
But before they were a thing, it was definitely salt and vinegar. The saltier, the vinegarier, blah, blah,
But
blah,
Miss
however you say that, the
Vicky's?
better.
Or any salt and- Yeah.
I don't even care. They could have been on the ground and I'd probably still eat them.
I mean,
She's like, these are great.
it's fine. Just blow on them. Make sure there's no crumbs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like floor crumbs. It's like, okay, we're good.
Yeah. I feel like salt and vinegar is a staple chip.
The more it
think it
hurts,
is.
the better.
Yes.
Yeah. You want your mouth to be raw.
Yeah, you don't want to be able to eat anything else
No.
afterwards.
No,
or
yeah.
even think about it, really.
Like you drink something and it's like, ah.
Yeah. The best part is my partner, Jeanette, loves salt and vinegar chips. And so does my mom. They'll both do it where they eat a whole bag and the next day they'll be like, my mouth hurts. Why does my mouth hurt? And I'm like, you had a whole bag of salt and vinegar chips.
It's not going to be kind to you.
No. And then when you get Miss Vicky's, they're also like, they're so tough. They're like ripping your mouth apart. Oh.
Yeah, I think that's what it is about the Miss Vicky's salt and vinegar that I can't do. Because they're so crunchy and then all the pieces are so sharp. So you get the extra ouch. And I don't think
Yeah.
I'm that masochistic.
Fair enough.
I don't know what that word means.
It means you like pain.
Oh, I see. Where did you live everywhere?
Okay, everywhere, but not everywhere, really. But I've lived, in Ontario, I've lived in a number of places. Toronto, I did not like Toronto.
Same.
Here, yeah, it's not
Same.
my vibe. Burlington, a long time ago.
Do they have a Burlington coat factory there?
You know what? That would have been great if they did.
I remember those commercials.
Why?
I just always wondered. I've never met anyone from Burlington.
And then the
I
guy,
lived there for such a short period of time. I don't even
Oh,
know.
okay.
Yeah.
you know, like the pawn shop guy that's on Yonge Street.
Oh, yeah,
yes, yes.
I can't remember his name.
yeah. Ooh, that's going to bug me.
Right,
He had
me
the
too.
song.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my dad bought my mom's engagement ring there.
Awesome.
We will fact check that.
Yes.
Gold. What is it?
Yeah, and
I'm the cash man. Save your money for...
I can't even.
I don't know.
I can't remember. No,
But he's
I
the
don't
cash
either.
man.
He's the cash man.
but we all know that's what I'm saying. Perfect branding because we
Perfect,
all
yeah.
know who exactly who you're
Yes.
talking.
Yeah.
Who I'm talking about, regardless of how you feel about them.
Clearly, I need a jingle.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we need to get you a jingle.
Right?
Hypnotism.
I like it. Let's go.
Cash.
I'll heal your trauma. Like, there it is.
Wow, you guys are great.
There it is.
Perfect. Done.
Boom. End the podcast.
Mic drop.
Okay, so Burlington.
Yeah. And then we'll get more exciting now. I've lived in Nevada, Tennessee,
Oh.
Florida, Maui,
Jesus.
Fiji.
What?
And I lived in BC for most of my adult life, actually.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
wait. You don't look old enough to live in all these places.
Well, I am. When bocce, I signed up for the bocce thing, and then it said, "Welcome, millennials," and I was like, "Oh shit! I guess I'll just be like a geriatric
Or
millennial."
if you identify as one, and I feel like you identify
I
as one.
do a little bit for sure. Yeah,
I definitely thought you were like my age. So I'm like,
I'm 50.
no.
You must wear sunscreen.
I don't. I'm not really into it.
Look it.
It
I'll be
really feels
fine.
gross
Yeah.
on my
You just get
skin.
the right kind of sunscreen.
Yeah.
That's
I've
fine.
been told sunscreen's good for you.
I've been told
Do you
that
moisturize?
too. I do.
There we
I
go.
do, and I do a lot of exfoliating.
Sorry, I'm still in shock. You're 50. You look like max 38.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
see, I
that.
just
Thank
turned
you.
36 and I thought you were my age.
I thought you were younger than that.
Yeah, well, I'm 36.
That's awesome. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. You're doing
Sunscreen.
something right, too.
Sunscreen.
Yeah, sunscreen. Okay, you're the sunscreen. I'm
How
not on.
long?
It all works,
Yeah,
I
but
guess.
you moisturize.
I do, and
That's-
I eat like a nerd a lot of the times.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Lots of greens
Yeah.
will really do something to your skin.
Okay. Yeah. That's great. Wow, those are great places to live.
Yes, Fiji was awesome. Maui was.
I was gonna say
one of my
those two were
faves.
sticking
Yeah,
in my head.
and BC, like I lived in Squamish and Whistler.
So beautiful.
Wow.
It's stunning.
It's amazing. It's probably one of my favorite places on there.
I think that everybody needs to like at least spend like a week in the mountains.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Or just like
sure.
just for the air.
Yes.
Even if you just you know what? Fuck it. Drive north
Yeah.
12 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The air is different.
it is.
It is.
It is.
What
Way,
were you
yeah.
doing in those places?
Well, I just I've had, I guess, an adventurous kind of soul. So I just
Love that.
whatever happened. I mean, when I was in a married relationship when I was really young. I was 25, and he ended up getting a job in Nevada. And funny thing is we weren't married. And then he's like, "I'm moving, and if you want to come, we have to be married." So I said, "Okay." I went.
Why not?
Right.
That's always a good way to start a marriage.
Well, you know. And so I
story.
just, we did it. We moved and we lived in Nevada for a while, which was cool because we lived in the desert in a trailer, but it was really nice. And, but there's
sounds amazing.
It was so cool. The sunrises and sunsets, beautiful. But what you don't get is like squirrels, birds, things like that. You
Oh,
get
yeah.
like scorpions and
Snakes?
Lizards?
I didn't see a lot of. I saw lizards and I saw scorpions. I didn't see a lot of snakes though. Up in the mountains, there were more like mountains.
See, scorpions is like a hard no for me.
You find them in your, like if our neighbor had left his coveralls, he came home, he was a mechanic, and he just dropped them and then got into the house in his clothes kind of thing, and came out later and there was a scorpion nestled in his coveralls.
I'm pretty
It
sure
was crazy.
when Jeanette was in Brazil, she got bit by like one.
Stung by one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Didn't
can
die.
Yeah, no. I guess I think it's the bigger the blob is on the tail before the stinger, the less lethal, the more, I don't know what it is. It's one of the two. But yeah, some
no.
of them are not lethal, that's for sure.
Even just like, I'm gonna pull out some nerd shit.
Do
I was
it.
playing Animal Crossing last night.
I love this, yes.
And there's at nighttime the scorpions come out and you can catch them with your net. And even those scorpions I run away from because I'm petrified of it. And
would
it's
too.
not even real. It's a tiny animation. Anyways, that's my
They are creepy. Anything that can crawl into something and
Yeah.
kind of like,
no.
I just am not a true fan. If it doesn't bite, I don't really care.
Yeah.
If it does, not my jam. And then Maui, I guess I went to school on Maui to be a massage therapist.
Oh.
So
Cool.
that's how I was able to live there. And then Fiji, I had a client who owns a resort there. And
Cool.
yeah,
Fiji's close to Hawaii. Is that incorrect?
that is incorrectish. Yeah, like it's
Where is
over by,
Fiji?
it's past Australia.
Yes. Okay. Because a lot of the time, if you're in Australia, that's the time to go to Fiji because you're already
Exactly.
close.
Because the flight is long.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's amazing.
You were
Yeah.
kind of at that halfway because a lot of times when you're flying to like Australia, you stop in Hawaii. That's why Jeanette got stuck in Kauai twice.
Ah.
She was trying to get to Australia and
Not a terrible place to get stuck
didn't
in.
leave.
Honestly,
I don't know why I came back.
I don't
Yeah, right? Like, I'm like, in House Belleville.
Yeah, right? Oh, love it. Love it.
So how long have you been back then?
I guess 4 years now.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Why'd you come back?
Yeah.
Well, I had moved to Toronto. I was living out west, and I'd lived in Calgary for a little while too. And then so I came to Toronto to take a course that I wanted to take. And it was going to take me a year. So I thought, I'll just spend a year in Toronto. I can handle it. And I did. It was fun. The course was amazing. And then afterwards, I kind of got a little bit stuck in Toronto. And so I was an actor at the time, and I would get these gigs, and then I'd get fired at the job that I was at. Like, I got a 2-week gig in Costa Rica. So I go to my boss, and I'm like, hey, I got this gig in Costa Rica. It's 2 weeks. This is the dates. Can I go? And he's like, no. And I said, okay, then I'll quit. And so I went and did that. And so I went through a few jobs doing things like that. And then when COVID hit, I really sat there and I was like, well, I don't like Toronto. What am I doing here? And I mean, acting is so fun. And I did some really awesome things with it that I'll never forget. But I was like, well, what am I doing? And I mean, actors are amazing. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're not doing anything. I just was like, it's not like I was famous or anything. So I wasn't working all the time. And I was not fulfilled. So my family's from here, obviously, because I was born here. And so I came back here and thought, well, I'll just spend some time with the fam, see how that goes. And here I am.
Amazing.
I feel like
later.
we've heard that story like a couple times where through the pandemic, people in the city were like, I don't like it here.
Yes.
And then they had family here and they were like, well, now I'm here.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. No, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad.
No.
It's bringing a lot of fun stuff here. So
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. It's grown. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's insane, eh?
Even, even in the last like
5 years.
5 years, it's like insane.
It is.
And I remember I went to the Hayloft a couple, like in the summer, because my friend was having a birthday party, but they were all city like people. And people would be like, where are you from? And I'm like, well, here, like I'm from Belleville. And they were like, what? I'm like, where are you from? Like, I think I was one of the only, and I'm not even county local. I was just like more local. But it was so funny. People were like, whoa. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, there are people here too.
People live here all the time, right?
we are here, yes. But it's like the things that are in this area are really fun.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be in the city. It's great.
It is great.
You already know that the Family Dental Center provides top quality care in a stress-free environment and offers a range of dental services using the latest technology.
But did you know that they are deeply committed to giving back to the community and creating a healthy work environment for their team?
We love watching FDC support the community. They organize initiatives like Free Dental Day, where they provide dental treatment to those in need. You can spot their team at various local fundraising events across the Bay of Quinte.
Dr. Yasmin and her whole team are dedicated to fostering a positive and supportive work environment. They do this by celebrating victories, holding dedicated staff meetings, hosting staff parties, and consistently being there for one another.
It's more than just a workplace, it's a family. To learn more about the Family Dental Center team and stay up to date about all the great things they're doing, follow them on Facebook at Family Dental Center and Instagram at FDC Family.
Brazen is defined as bold and without shame. Jenny, the visionary behind Simple Desk, created the Brazen event to empower women in business to be their authentic and unapologetic selves.
After the rapid sellout of 2023, get ready for a bigger and bolder Brazen 2024. This full-day experiential event created by women for women showcases, inspires, and connects female entrepreneurs and working professionals from around the Bay of Quinte.
The day is packed with networking, vendor booths, exciting giveaways, delicious food, and a speaker panel of incredible female entrepreneurs sharing their inspiring stories.
Don't miss out on Brazen 2024. Mark your calendars for May 31st, and tickets go on sale November 1st, 2023.
For all the details, visit simpledesk.ca/brazen and be sure to follow Brazen on Instagram at brazenevents1.
Life can be messy, and dealing with chronic pain, pelvic discomfort, muscle weakness, or mental illness can take a toll. Sometimes it takes a team effort to not just survive, but thrive.
At Diamond Physiotherapy, their approach is all about education. They're constantly expanding their knowledge and skills to ensure their clients receive solutions that provide them with more than just temporary relief.
Recognizing the significance of treating the whole person for overall wellness, Diamond Physiotherapy offers a wide range of services. These include physiotherapy, pelvic health physiotherapy, vestibular rehabilitation, pediatric physiotherapy, psychotherapy, and pre- and postnatal treatment.
They're not just about generic treatments. They're about creating an individualized treatment plan that works for you. With their knowledge, skills, and resources, They'll be by your side every step of the way, helping you become your best self.
Take the first step in your physical and mental wellness and reach out to Diamond Physiotherapy at 55 South Pinnacle Street in Belleville and at diamondphysio.ca. If you're planning a special event, whether it's a wedding, birthday, bachelorette, or work event, Events on the Rocks has got you covered. They offer a range of services, including bar, planning, and same-day coordination.
Their bar services are unlike any other. You get top-notch service, a stunning bar setup, and a variety of drink options to suit your theme.
And let's not forget the food. Events on the Rocks has charcuterie boards and light snack options to ensure your guests are well-fed and happy throughout your event.
You have options. Choose from one of the 5 event bar services or get in touch to create a custom package to make your event truly unforgettable.
Take your event to the next level with Event on the Rocks event planning services. Their dedicated team will handle all the details, including coordinating vendors, decor, menus, invitations, day of coordination, and so much more.
To learn more, go to eventsontherocks.com and follow along on Facebook and Instagram at events_on-the-rocks. What kind of acting did you do? Can I see you in anything?
Yes. I have some super small parts in, the one is called The Exchange, and it was written by one of the writers of The Simpsons, and then
Cool.
Sasha, aka Borat's producer,
Yeah.
and I think he directs a couple of them. I don't know. He was the director on the film. He is
Cool.
one of my favorite directors I've ever worked with. He's so lovely, Dan Mazer. And so anyway, I have a small part on The Exchange. It's on Amazon Prime. And then
Nice.
another one on The Count of Three, which was done by Jared Carmichael from the Transformers series.
Oh.
And I have a small part in that too. And then a lot of like docudramas. Which,
Ooh.
yes, like,
I love a docudrama.
Haunted Case Files. I was on that a bunch. And then another one called Murder Board, which was more...
This is
about-
like Katie's like in.
I'm like,
I love
where do I
horror.
find all of these? I was about to be like, have you ever played a murder victim?
No, but I played police on those ones most of the time, and
fun.
psychic investigators. And then I played. I was in a horror movie that I produced with a bunch of people and acted in, and that was fun. And then just a bunch of like, there was this other television show thing that this guy was doing about mafia stuff, and that aired on some streaming platform in Russia. And so it's just
Your life
just a
is
bunch
my
of stuff.
favorite. I love this.
Thank you. I just really wanted to go always and just do stuff. I'm
Yeah.
curious all the time, and I am getting a little bit where I have to go try something new soon, I think.
Yeah,
Who knows what that'll be. Some adventure needs to happen, though.
I get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the travel, like
I get the travel bug.
adventure.
Yes.
I feel like too, when you've moved around a lot, you're like, okay, I need a little.
A little newness. It's like that when you go somewhere that you've never been before, one, your brain acts differently and,
Yeah.
and takes in information way better. And so I don't know if that is what I get addicted to, but there's this a little, I don't know what to call it, but it's a feeling of never having been somewhere before and
Mm-hmm.
exploring and finding out and what's that, what's over here, what's over there, that I get all caught up in. And
I like
away
just
I
like the I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I think that's like my favorite thing in the world, where it's like I can go somewhere and know not a single person, and it's just like I can just exhale,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
Because it's like there's nobody's expectations around me, and I think that's what I
Crave.
crave. That.
Hypnotherapy can help you with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lot of trauma.
It's all good. Everybody does have
Yeah.
some.
Yeah.
Like it's just the way the world is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so what was your journey to get to hypnotherapy? You were a massage therapist in there.
I was, yeah. And then I ended up taking this thing called BioSync. And it's kind of, I guess it's more like a chiropractic. There's no real massage. There's not a lot of flow to it. It's more like chiropractic / energy work, I guess you'd call it. And so I took that, and that's how I got my one client. His name is Tony Robbins. He was my client for a while, and he owns the Fijian resort. And so from there, I just kept, I guess I really like helping people. Mm-hmm. However, I worked with Tony for a while, and then the creator of BioSync tried to sue me for stealing their client. So I was just like,
Amazing.
Tony, I actually emailed him and I said, hey, this is what they sent me. And he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, okay. And well, I'll see you later. And I saw them a few years later, and they asked if I was doing it still. And I said no, because I just moved on.
Yeah.
I kind of do that. I was a mechanic. And while I was a mechanic, I was also doing card readings out of this store in Whistler called the Oracle.
Yeah.
It's a great little metaphysical store. And so I did mediumship and intuitive card readings if you want. I used tarot and a bunch of other stuff. And from there, I realized that, one, even when I sit in a bar and people used to come up and talk to you, people will tell me things and be like, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I've never told anybody. And I'm like, oh, well, that's okay. Just if you feel like it, go for it. And then two, when I was doing card readings, people would come and see me like every week or every 2 weeks. And it was like therapy. Mm-hmm. But I really didn't have anything to help them, like besides bringing it up, talking about what could possibly happen, what we could do. But I couldn't help them actually help themselves. Mm-hmm. So that's where hypnotherapy came in. And I studied a lot of different therapies, and I wanted something that, I'm not saying none of them works. I think talk therapy is great. Yep. But I know a lot of people who years later are still talking about their problem and it's not gone. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, what can we do? Because I know our brains are powerful and we can get over stuff. So hypnotherapy just was the one. It works for a lot of things. Our brains are super powerful. Tony Robbins actually got me into that when I was like 12. My parents went and saw him. There was a full circle there with Tony. But I was like, oh, and he's all about the power of the mind. And I'm like, And it's true. Like our subconscious is just so powerful. It's like having a 5-year-old child running the show in there sometimes. And you can't stop it. Yeah. But you can with hypnotherapy.
Okay, so like, can you like guide us through the process of like what it is? And
Absolutely.
To me, in my brain, without knowing anything about it, I am picturing just like person laying on the couch and just like in my brain, the therapist just is sitting beside your ear, just like whispering things into your ear. And I'm like, I know that's not how it is.
But that sounds really fun.
Just like low key, just like ASMR, just like right into my ear.
Yes.
Like it just sounds so relaxing, but I know that's nothing what it.
No, there are relaxing components to it. Also, there are some emotional components sometimes to it. So I have a chair that people sit in. It reclines ever so slightly. And you sit in that. I don't touch you or anything like that. I'm usually about 3 feet away from you. Mm-hmm. And I put you into an induction where you have full control. It's kind of like being ultra relaxed. Like, you know, when you're driving and you don't remember getting from one spot to another, that is technically a hypnotic state. Yeah. So you're still in control.
I've always wondered, because sometimes I'm like, oh,
right.
Uh-oh.
Here I am.
Like autopilot. Yeah. No, it's just like, when some things you just like do things without really thinking about it.
Yes, that's your subconscious mind. So basically that's what we're trying to access. So I get you into a state that's much like that. You still talk. You can get up and leave at any time. You can just open your eyes. Most people are like, I don't want to lose control. And I'm like, you're not at all losing control. You're just relaxing, really. Yeah. And so from there, we just kind of get really into this relaxed state where your subconscious mind comes forward. And your subconscious mind is where everything is stored from like childhood and on. And so traumas, all sorts of things. And once you have a traumatic event, it can be triggered over and over again in life by different things. And so what happens is once we have something like that, and these are with most all thoughts actually, our brain, one, doesn't know the difference between real and fake ever. And two, everything you think of, every thought you have, your brain wires and fires as if it's actually happening. Hormones are released, neurochemicals are released, and your brain thinks it's actually happening, whether you're imagining it or it's actually really happening in front of you or to you. So all of this gets stored in there and conveniently sits there, and that makes you do things that you don't even know you're doing half the time. Mm-hmm. And so what we do in hypnosis is we bring that to the forefront so that we can work on it and make new wires. So every time you have a thought, your brain wires and fires like it's actually happening. So what happens is it makes a neural connection in your brain. And every time you think that same thought over and over again, that gets stronger and stronger and stronger, which is why people have habits and phobias and things like that, right? So what we do is we create a new thought that overwrites that and fire and wire that over and over and over again. And repetition is how it works. And so basically it's just like a road, and an old road that's overgrown on one side, and the new road is the way you want to go now. So it's like that makes reprogramming.
So much sense.
I think here, and this may be one of the myths, like in my mind, hypnotists hypnotherapy was just like hokey pokey.
A lot of
But
people
it's
say
like,
that.
but now you're explaining it, I'm like, oh, it's like science.
It is actually,
actually, like,
100%
makes sense.
neuroscience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
see, like I would never would. I'm like, they're just hypnotizing me, and then
Yeah, I would
Ta-da.
have never, like, without this conversation, I would have never even considered hypnotherapy.
No.
Yeah.
Which is why I like having people that
Yeah.
are like you on here, because I'm like, okay, I am very into this.
Well, thanks. I think it's really interesting too.
I think it's just like, just the whole process of just like using the way the brain works in a way to heal.
Yes.
Is just
Exactly.
so cool.
Yeah.
is
It
is hypnotherapy recognized by like doctors? I don't know.
It is actually. There is Arch Canada is trying to get it registered across Canada so that there is some sort of, what do you call that? Like, something you have to live up to, have it
Yeah.
registered. You can't be some sort of weirdo doing it, that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Almost like a registered hypnotherapist.
Yes. So they're trying to get that going. They have been for a long time, but doctors and psychiatrists and physiotherapists will all refer out to hypnotherapists,
Oh.
especially
we
like
have it
with.
covered in our benefits.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Some people do, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So like a
Go team.
physio, right?
Yeah. Thanks, Martha.
Martha's like, you're all fucked.
So like if you get into a car accident, let's say, and there was some emotional trauma attached to that, a physiotherapist will be able to heal you and then not figure like I can't take you any further because there's nothing wrong with you, but you still feel pain. And that happens a lot with people. And so it's emotional. It's an emotional blockage of some sort. And so hypnotherapy would help with something like that as well.
I was diagnosed with that, where like I have psychosomatic pain, where because I'm so anxious and like depressed, I'll keep going, but my body will start to like deteriorate.
Yes.
That's what happened to me last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Isn't that
happens.
crazy?
Yeah, I was like, I hit some like burnout hard burnout. And like, I literally, like Friday, I got home and I like didn't leave like my living room area for probably 4 days.
Oh yeah, burnout sucks.
I was like,
Crazy. I know when it's
And
coming
everything
too
hurt.
now. I'm like, I'm so woke. I know when burnout's coming. Do I stop it? No. I'm just like, here we go.
Right?
I'm like, look, mom, no hands. Going into burnout.
but yeah.
No,
great,
I feel like hypnotherapy sounds really cool. I think I like did it once in talk therapy.
Okay, yeah.
But not like probably to its fullest extent, and I didn't enjoy it, and I was like, never again.
Yes.
Probably just didn't enjoy who you were doing it with.
Perhaps. Or
Maybe.
sometimes, depending on what happens, like what protocols they maybe use, maybe it just wasn't the right one yet. Sometimes you have to wait to do a few protocols just because like it's therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
it's
going
hard.
in there.
It's not
You're getting
easy.
stuff out. Yeah.
That's my favorite
Doesn't always
thing.
feel good.
No.
When I tell people, I'm like, you should go to therapy. They're like, it sucks. I'm like, yeah, it does suck. But then it'll get better.
Yes,
like, Just
exactly.
work through the
Yes.
The sucky part.
sucky
Yes.
part.
But hypnotherapy also works like with like an entrepreneur and their business blockages. Like, why can't I get past this point? Sports. Why am I not performing well? And there's usually some sort of deep-seated reason in there. Just get it
Yeah.
out and rewrite it, and away you go. So there's it's really it's neat. It can do a lot of things. I love it.
Yeah, because our question was, what can it treat?
Oh,
But
what-
so it can
okay.
kind of treat
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
it
I
feels
don't
like.
love that to say that about it because
Yeah.
like what does treat everything really in the grand scheme of things, but it is very broad because we're dealing with the subconscious mind,
Yeah.
where everything is stored. That's broad, and so when you look at rewriting that, there's so many reasons why to rewrite something and all the things that happen to us in life. So yeah, anything from like, I once heard a story about this swimmer who just couldn't win when on a race. In practice, they could always, really do well, get more seconds, less seconds, however you want to look at it. But then in a race with other people there, they couldn't. And it was just the way, it ended up being the way they were trained. They were trained by one of their parents, and their parents would never let them win because they were also a competitive, and they thought that would, I guess, motivate them. But what it did was it actually subconsciously demotivated them. And so I guess that the therapist that worked on that person overwrote that, and they started winning. Not all the time, but
That's cool.
That's
yeah,
cool.
it's neat.
Yeah, no, I could see how that, like, how this could be applied to like
almost anything in your
Absolutely,
life.
yeah.
So it's like if you're feeling like held back or something by something,
Yes.
it's like, or that you just redirect those thoughts.
Biting your nails too. Like pulling, some people have this thing where they pull their hair out when they're
I
nervous.
totally
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Do it
And
with my eyebrows.
I
Yes,
don't pull
yeah.
my eyebrows out, but I play with them. My dad does it too, and it drives my mom nuts. Well, we just like pull, and so whenever I get my eyebrows done, I'm like, "Can you trim them?" Because
Yes.
then I can't pull them as much. What other myths are there about?
like my one is always the favorite. It's like, will you make me quack like a duck?
Oh yeah, no.
Can you?
No, I mean, I don't. I've never tried. Let's try it.
I'm gonna come see you and be
now.
like, make me quack.
That's what I want. Don't worry about the hair pulling.
Yeah,
I just want to
it's
quack like a duck.
Let's not deal with that right now.
It's the duck. There's that, and then there's like, I'll lose control is another one. I don't want to lose control, and it's like you're in control. You're actually not being in control in your state that you're in. It's ironic because your subconscious is controlling you, and you're overriding that to make it better. So you're actually going to be more in control after hypnotherapy of yourself.
See, it's funny because I definitely thought that I would be in less control because I'm being vulnerable, but it actually makes you more in control. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, well, you're bringing all your stuff to the conscious. And so when you're conscious of something, you can actually do something about it rather than sometimes like subconsciously when you see somebody in distress, some people like pick at their skin or whatever. And half the time they don't even know they're doing it. It's just the
I was
subconscious
like-
taking over. Yeah.
That's me.
Kay's been picking.
I am covered in just like scabs all over my body.
Okay.
Because I pick.
Yeah, it's people do it.
it's my
just
thing.
it's a like sometimes it's a self-soothing thing, and people just do it when they get nervous or
All of the
triggered or
Everything.
Is there ever like because obviously when you're going into the subconscious, people have just like buried things in there.
Yes.
Can it ever be negative? Like if you bring something out, or is the goal like you bring it out and then you work on it?
Yeah, you bring it out and then you work on it for sure. You wouldn't really want to just bring up negative things and then leave them there. It's definitely rewiring is the one really important part, and then repetition after that. Keep thinking of that. Keep thinking that way. Keep speaking that way. Keep like a lot of the times there's with one of my programs there's a recording that you get afterwards and you listen to for almost a month because it takes about that long to create a new habit. And so if you listen to that every day, it just helps wire and fire that connection over and over again because that's just how it works. It's neuroplasticity.
Yep.
And every time your brain wires and fires that same connection, it makes that connection stronger and then makes other connections like. Okay, so on the screen there's blue and red, and Tim's name is there. So Tim, blue. Okay, so there's two connections, and then another connection will be always yellow too. And it's just learning and learning, and then it just connection. And before you know it, that whole thought that you had before that was triggering you to do bad things is now has connections that are positive and healthy. And those are wiring and firing instead of the other ones.
Whoa.
And it just learns. And every time you add to it, like say it's like non-smoking. There's another myth about that. Will I puke every time I smoke? No, not unless you really want to. I can make it happen, but no. But yeah, you just like you were smoking, and smoking. A lot of the times, people smoke because their body is asking for a deep breath, and the only time they get a deep breath is when they smoke. And so, yeah, and so their body is asking for that deep breath, but their brain is saying, "Go have a cigarette," not really realizing that cigarette is making the deep breath redundant, if not toxic. And so they go and you go in and rewire that. And so then all of a sudden, instead of having a connection of cigarette and breathing, they have actual breathing and breathing. And then another connection would be, wow, I feel better. And that feeling will then start a new connection and make that connection stronger. And then you ironically start eating better when you don't smoke anymore. It's just a weird thing. And so there's another. And so you just continually make these brand new connections that are positive, and then you keep doing them and they get stronger and stronger and stronger. And the old connection just fades away into the background.
Yeah.
It just
That
makes
makes
so
sense.
much sense. Like actually hearing someone explain it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought it did too. Yeah,
I get why
I might
you're
not
in
be
it.
the best explainer of it all, but
I feel like you explained it in at the perfect way.
Well,
Because
thank you.
I get it.
Yeah.
Good.
How long have you been practicing?
I graduated my first class last November. So almost a year. And then that course was a year, and then I'm in another year-long course. I'd like to take. I'll never stop learning.
Yeah.
I like to bring whatever's best to my clients, and if hypnotherapy, a different kind of hypnotherapy or another kind of therapy works, I'd rather just have all the tools. And
I think that's like the best way to live.
Yeah.
Because I'm in school right now too. So
Awesome.
it's like the
I love
continuous
school.
learning.
Yes.
I like being stagnant is like my biggest fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what's the point? Like,
Right.
I want to keep growing. I want to, build things that are going to benefit, like in marketing, like businesses. Like, I want them to thrive
Yes.
because when they thrive, it's like, okay, like that's part of my efforts.
Yes.
And it's like, just like seeing all these like things happen. It's like, yeah, no, I think continuing education is like so invaluable.
It is. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And you just keep learning and learning new things, and like everything, like hypnotherapy's even evolved over time, so it's changes.
Yeah.
So if you never upgraded, you'd still be doing old things, and the old things still work, but then we've learned so much about the brain since then. We have new little things that maybe upgraded a certain protocol just to work more efficiently. Why wouldn't you want to use that? So yeah, and then sometimes, hypnotherapy, a lot of people also need to talk. You don't talk, like you talk in hypnotherapy, but it's under hypnosis and it's about what you're going through. You're not just silent and me whispering in your ear. We're talking back and forth a lot of the times, or I'm getting some sort of key from you that you're listening to me, whether it's a finger raise or whatever. But some people actually need to talk about their trauma first, and so that you just to have some tools like that to be able to talk to somebody effectively about what they're going through before you get to the point where you never talk about it again is really healthy for someone. So yeah, I like to have a bunch of different tools and pull from them.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can see why you're easy to talk to.
Okay.
Like when you on your website, it says like people just tell me things, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm like, I'll tell you
I
everything.
also have that where people just tell me
Right?
things, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's great. They're like, I've never told anyone. I'm like, cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
I've had multiple people come out to me, and they're
Yeah.
like, I've never said that to anyone before. And I'm like, great.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes, exactly.
over
It's
here.
awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I think it is when you aren't a judgmental space.
Yeah.
Like I'm a weirdo. So I
Yes.
feel like people can sense that, and then they're like, you're not going to judge anything I say. And I'm like, probably not.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I'm a weirdo too. I get it. Yeah.
And people just like come to you and tell you things. I'm like,
They do. They just
Weirdos unite.
yeah, honestly.
Yeah, weirdos.
That's what bocce was for, is just bringing the weirdos.
It was so good. Oh my gosh. It was
You
my
guys.
favorite. Like,
Yeah.
We're going to do more. Don't worry.
not even just networking, but like one of my favorite events I've ever been to. It was
my
so
God.
good. Oh yeah. It was so relaxed, and it was so fun, and it was so chill, and I don't know. And people organically spoke to one another rather than when you go like to some networking things, it's like, okay, we're here to network. It's almost robotic. It's like, okay, hi, I'm so-and-so. And then they're telling you what they do. And it's like, okay, great.
And then
It's
you go
like,
to the next person.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, I don't even know anything about that person. Like,
No.
what? Okay.
I feel like it's better to like talk to someone and get to know them. And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, what do you do?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
that's just my kind of networking.
Yes.
Like other ones, like maybe it's just like a neurotypical thing. I don't know, because like that's just not me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't feel like I fit in a lot of those places.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm just like, okay, like what can we do? Like we want to do trivia,
We want to do trivia
Ooh, I like that.
and potentially a sing along, but that's like,
Wow.
a sing along dinner
Oh, it's ballsy. I love it.
I know.
with ABBA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my, I'm going.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that one may
Yes.
take some more planning, like a longer planning
Yeah, that one's
period.
gonna take a
but
little bit more. But what was it?
I love it.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, we got a DM from somebody, and they're like, "What about dinner and a sing along?" And I was like,
yes.
"Yes,
Yes.
aggressively, yes."
I like
I will
it.
be in.
Perfect.
So at Botch, you were there with Renew Wellness.
Yes.
So how did that come to be? How'd you get there?
Okay, so Renew Wellness. Everything is kind of a little bit magical. I will say about that place. So my cousin's friend was at Renew Wellness. Tilly, she's doing Tilly Talks and some other things there, grief support, I believe. And so she's my cousin and my uncle are like, you got to talk to Tilly. You got to talk to Tilly. You know, you guys would get along so well. I'm like, cool. So Tilly and I tried to make it work. It just never did. And then all of a sudden it did. And I didn't know why I was supposed to talk to Tilly. I knew Tilly was into a lot of cool things and we would enjoy each other. And Tilly is awesome. so we finally started chatting, and then she's like, yeah, I'm at this place, Renew Wellness, and we're renting rooms out to people. I have a room, it's Janet, she's renting rooms. And I'm like, okay, cool. I never thought of actually renting a room somewhere, but because I was doing everything online at first.
Oh, so that's how Renew Wellness works.
Yes.
Okay.
And so
That's cool.
So then I went and talked to Janet, and I was like, I love your space. This is great. Everybody there is so cool. It's a rad spot. And everybody does really cool things there too. So I just ended up getting that spot, and then we started hanging out and doing all the stuff together, and just, really trying to get some interesting alternative self-help out there.
Yeah.
Like come and everything that everybody does there, for the most part, you'll leave and you'll either feel extremely better and not have to come back for a while. And then like, it's not like, I don't know, like hypnotherapy is usually anywhere from 3 to 5 treatments for one thing. And then you might come back and see me for something else, but you probably won't come and see me for that thing maybe ever again, but possibly once in your life if you have a huge triggering event, and then we just dust it off and away you go again. Same with Janet. She does it started out as an allergy clinic, but it's so good for all these other things. And like basically anything, hormones, everything that you could think of health-wise internally.
Bioenergetics
Thank
on
you.
the website.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember what it was called. I'm like, fuck, what is that? So bioenergetics, and like you will go to her too, and honestly, she'll get you to a place where whatever it was that was ailing you is gone.
I feel like I need to talk to her.
She's brilliant. I love
I feel like
her
I need
stuff.
to talk to all of you.
It was actually cool at Bocce because I think Janet won.
Yes, she did.
One of the door prizes, so
Yeah.
she got to do a introduce yourself, and then I watched one of my friends go up and talk to her after because she was like, I am struggling with this, can you help me?
Yes.
So it was just it's cool.
It's cool, and I've been treated by Janet too, and it's wild. I'm like, how do you know that? Like, I didn't even tell her anything. I went in, and she's like, oh, so your eyes, and I'm like, yes. And then she's like, oh, okay, so your right shoulder, and I'm like, what?
How are you doing this?
Right?
I like to
magic
call
woman.
it witch magic sometimes.
Yes.
Like,
I
and
love
it's not
witchies,
because,
though.
but I
Voodoo-ish.
like kind of like sometimes
it.
traditional. Like I
Yeah.
do use a lot of traditional,
Yep.
like
Medicine.
Yeah. It's great, but I think mixing traditional and natural medicine is a really great.
I do. I
thing to
agree.
use.
Yes.
I fully support this.
Yeah.
You can use both.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I don't know why people like to put them in separate
Yeah,
pots.
I think
I'm
it's
like,
like-
why can't we just have a mixed shaky
I think
Yes.
it is a spectrum, and there's like people at one end or another who are like only
Yes.
traditional or like only natural, and I think that's where it gets lost. Where there is this spectrum where you can use what works for you.
Yes.
which gets
It's kind of
forgotten.
like hypnotherapy. I really think that it just goes well with psychotherapy. It goes well with I can't even think what I was just going to say, with like psychiatry, any other kind of talk therapies. I think it partners extremely well with.
Yeah.
And like even some psychotherapists do end up being hypnotherapists as well, because it just really, like, people want to talk as well. And then there's also all these things that, you come out and there's tools that they use that I don't. And then I have tools that I use that they don't. And together, I think we can really help people personally.
Well, yeah, it's like the same. If you think about it in any other lens too,
Yeah.
like it doesn't even have to be like healthcare. It's like
Yes.
there's multiple ways to do like the same
different
thing.
things.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like to put anything and to be like, you can only do it this way. Like it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Can you tell us about the girls' club?
Oh, yeah, you found that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I just started it not too long ago. The first launch will be October 18th. And so it is 6 girls that come to Renew Wellness. And we do 4 weekends in a row, but it's just a Saturday for a couple of hours. But it's all about taking girls that are 10 to 12 right now. I'd like to branch out and make this bigger. But they come and we go through, we talk about bullying. We talk about how to get over that and what it really is, so that once you understand what bullying is, bullies really don't affect you that much anymore.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. We get into meditation. We do a lot of creativity things, and we do a lot of confidence building.
Oh.
And so I really feel like preparing young women for adulthood is where it's at. Like, I wish I
Big
had something like
snaps,
that.
right? Yeah.
And so I do plan on expanding it and making different age groups, and even adult women I would like to work with as well.
Oh yeah,
on
because there
confidence
are
and stuff.
adult bullies.
There are adult bullies, yes. And they are not fun at all.
No.
But once you really realize what's going on, it changes your perception on it, and you just don't get triggered by it at all anymore. You're just like, oh,
I am unbothered.
yes, absolutely. Indifferent to your bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Preach.
yes. So, but that's what Girls Club's about. And
That's so cool.
yeah,
love
we're going to do
that.
art journaling. And so we start near Halloween. So the first day I'm going to get some magic going on. And little girls probably aren't listening, but we're going to do spell jars, which is a little bit, yeah. So it's going to be super fun. And it's all going to be about growth and confidence. I know, right? Yes.
That's so fun.
I'll do one for adults too.
What's the age range? Oh, 10 to 12.
It's 10 to 12, yeah, for now.
That's really like, and that's such like a pivotal age.
Yeah.
Where it's like that's when things like really start to change. That's when like
Oh, it's like
remember.
is that middle school?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Right?
It's like when you first start becoming aware of what other people think of you, and like to have that and to I am unbothered by
Yes.
the opinions of others.
Yes.
Is like that's so like I just think that's so like valuable for a young girl.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And it started actually with my cousin's daughter he came to me and he's like, hey, she's really interested in all the things you're doing. Would you talk to her? I'm like, sure. So then we started talking. Then it's like, so would you were going to do that. We had a kids camp that we were going to do at Renew Wellness, but we thought about it a little late in the game. And so we'll probably do it next year. But he's like, are you going to do anything like that? Because I had talked to him about it. And I said, well, why don't I? And so I said, I'm just going to talk to your daughter and see what it is that 10 to 12-year-old girls really want in this and her. So it was for her and her friends. And then I just started opening it up to anybody as well.
I love that you actually talk to a girl in that age group to be like, okay, like what is it that you guys
And then
are
I paid
interested
her.
in? Oh my God.
Crazy. It's like, we value your time.
Yes. Yeah, she was my consult on how to do this.
She probably loved
Yeah,
that
see, like
too.
this is like the exact way people need to go about things. Because it's like an adult can tell a child all day, every day how to do something, but if they can't relate to it, there's no point.
Right. Yeah.
So like, I admire that you found ways to relate to like them to make it.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
valuable.
it was exciting actually. I love working with children. They respond very well, and then two, children have a hard enough time as it is, and then once you get to adulthood, if you haven't had help with any of the things that you're having childhood traumas around, adulthood it sucks.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
there's a lot of things that don't really need to affect us, and we let them affect us horribly, and sometimes it's even crippling, and it doesn't need to. Like there's nothing we can do about half this shit, so why are we struggling with it? You know, it's just your brain.
I'm not gonna cry.
Your brain is telling you lies, and it does all the time. Like it just does. And
I'm gonna cry.
You
It's
gotta-
fine. I'm fine. No, but like it's like constant, right? It's like
Yes.
There's all these things that my brain tells me that I know are untrue.
yes,
But can I stop it?
No.
yes,
Right now, no.
right now, no,
Technically,
but yes,
yes. But do I allow it to consume me all the time?
Everybody does.
But it's like, okay, like, oh God.
But I think too, when you're like, when I was younger, I had mental health struggles, but it wasn't talked about.
Yes.
Like it was very like, okay, you go to therapy, but don't talk about it.
Right.
And you'll get help there, but you don't need to bring that into school.
Right.
And I was like, okay, but then you learn to bury it. You don't learn to deal with it outwardly. So giving young women the tools to actually recognize how they're feeling, work on it, or do what they need to do, and like have the voice to talk about it and use that as they continue in like young adulthood and adulthood would be tremendous.
Yes, I wish I had something too. Yeah.
to be able to vocalize what anxiety was.
Yeah.
Right.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Would have been life changing because I was always just kind of like, people would ask me questions and I would shut down.
Right.
Because I'm like,
I know.
I'm freaking out.
Yeah, people are like, why are you having a panic attack? I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm dying. Like,
Right.
Everything.
You're my favorite. I just feel like you're so open and you're doing great things. But what's next? Like, you're going to continue your education. We figured out.
Yes. Well, I will finish clinical hypnotherapy in January. Which,
What does that mean?
So it's a little bit different than the other hypnotherapy course that I took. So for clinical, it's definitely, excuse me, more like there's a lot of client planning. So you plan the sessions out. And you can never plan anything 100% because it's all about what's happening in this moment and what tool do I need to rapid fire at this person. Well, not rapid fire. That sounds aggressive, but it's not aggressive. But what do I need to grab right now to use? Because everybody is so different. No session is the same. I could have 100 people come to me with the same issue and every session will be different. So there's a lot of... there's always that, but in clinical hypnotherapy, it's definitely a lot of goal setting, a lot of planning, and much more structured. Whereas the other, I took rapid transformational therapy with Marissa Peer, and great course as well. Less sciencey, which I love about the clinical hypnotherapy. It's so sciencey. We're talking about the brain and all the parts of the brain and all the functions of the brain and what works together and what doesn't all the time. I love that about it. Anyway, what's after that? I don't know yet.
I like that answer.
Yeah, I don't know. I've mixed sciencey and not so sciencey, and then I'm not too sure if I would take another hypnotherapy or if I just add upon. I want to do a sleep program, so yoga nidra I think is going to be in there.
Fun.
Yeah, to mix with hypnotherapy and then not at the same time, but as a program.
What is yoga? What?
Yoga nidra. So it's a yoga practice where you don't really do a lot of actual yoga. You might do a few salutations before you go into yoga, but it's like, basically, I believe nidra means sleep.
Wow.
And so after a yoga nidra session, which is much like a guided meditation, I would say, apparently it feels like you've had, or the effects of it are like you've had about up to 3 hours of sleep. It just it's a reset of your nervous system.
Right.
I would love that right now.
Okay. Well, I'm working on that. So that is going to be, I want to do sleep. And then I think I want to do something for women who, as we get older, we start to feel invisible. And I didn't really realize that it was true until I got to here. And I'm like, oh, yeah, nobody really... Like, and the world is really like that too. Like, people don't notice other people anymore. And so I think that I'd like to do a women's program where, like, you know, like, how are you feeling about yourself? Do you want to just feel better about yourself? Do more confidence? Maybe just the essence of feeling like you've got this.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So finding yourself is really what I think it's about. It's about, so we lose ourselves in relationships sometimes and in work and in parenting and everything. And once you get to that point where you're like, whoa, where did I go? How do you get back? And many people don't know how to get back to that. So that's another program I'm looking at doing as well. I have so many plans. It's ridiculous.
Honestly, I find people, especially, I notice it because I'm a mom, but it's like people tend to lose themselves in parenting.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, it's like their only personality trait is their children.
Yes.
And like, I get it. I love my kids.
Oh, yeah.
But I have interests and hobbies.
You are a person too.
Yeah, beyond my children. Yeah. So I find a lot of parents, I guess, like, and then once they hit 18, they move out or they go to school, it's like you see this like kind of like, oh shit moment.
Right.
And then there's divorces and all these things because it's like, okay, now we have to learn to live together, but we don't know who we are anymore.
Yes, because you were parents. Yeah. I see that a lot too. It's like the empty nest syndrome is real. It's like they leave and it's like, well, wait a minute, what do I do now? Like, you've been consumed with school, sports, after school activities, art, whatever it is that the kids are into or
making
trying
sure
out.
They get to post-secondary and then they do it and they're like, oh shit.
And then it's all about their friends and everything, which is natural. But I think as a parent, I don't know. I've never been a parent.
Yeah.
I just never wanted to do that. But
that's fair.
But I know a lot of people who are parents, obviously, and that, like, the child is like off with their friends and it's like, bye. And then I'm like, what do I do with myself now? And I think it would be great to have a program to just help people get back to themselves.
Absolutely. Even just getting to know yourself, I feel like is
a
lost thing.
Yes.
I think even through COVID, a lot of people lost themselves. Like I felt like I have no idea. Like it was like a blur,
Right.
and you couldn't do anything. And then you're like, wait, what do I do now?
Yes.
Like I'm working.
Cool. I can make sourdough.
Yeah, right.
Like, different ways.
I have so many hobbies that I don't have time for anymore.
Right.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
I think that's a really important tool people could use.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
Okay.
What can people expect when they come to work with you?
Awesome. I love that question. So you can expect to feel relaxed for sure. And we're going to work through some things. Your success highly depends on you and doing your homework that you're given. Some people take a while to get there. Other people don't. It's hard to know what to expect, but I would say have no expectations because you're dealing with the subconscious, and everybody is so different, and everybody has so many different ways to and time lengths to deal with something and to bring it out and to find it. And one thing I would say is don't have very many expectations, except you will notice a difference when you leave. Maybe small, maybe big, depends on what we're doing. 2, everybody's version of feeling like they're in hypnosis is different, so don't worry about it. And 3, memories are unreliable. They always are. And so whatever ends up coming up as a memory might be true, might be false. It doesn't matter. We're just chasing a feeling. So just let it go. A lot of people bring up false memories, and like a good hypnotherapist will not lead anybody. You just allow, like you don't really say anything except for, what's next? What happened next? Tell me about that. What does that feel like? What happened? How does that feel? What do you feel right now? Like you're never do you feel mad? You never say those things. So it's not like, so everything that the client says, they come up with on their own. However, whether it's true or whether it's not true, whether it's a fabricated memory or a real one, it doesn't really matter because it's the feeling that we need to chase. So I say have no expectations, and except for you will definitely feel better.
Nice.
And allow the process to unfold, allow it to unfold just as perfectly as it does. There's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad, really. It's just, it is what it is almost, which is such a cliche saying, but it's true. It's like some people are like, I don't know if I felt like I was in hypnosis or not. And I'm like, well, it's different for everybody. So, I can tell when people are in hypnosis, there's all these signs that I look for. And so I work with the person until I can make sure that that's where they are. And then we go away. So I know you've been hypnotized. You will eventually know. The more you come, the easier it is, the more you recognize it. Like at first it's like, I don't even know. And you just allow that to be like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what it is. You just let it rip.
Yeah.
Let it rip.
That's a great, that's the title of the episode.
Yeah, let it rip.
Let it rip. And just know that, you're healing yourself, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
And whatever comes up, comes up.
But there's no like right or wrong.
No, like sometimes like I work a lot with the imagination. So when we're in a session, like I've had clients, I'll be like, okay, so, can you see this blue balloon? And they're like, oh, I see a pink elephant, let's say. Okay, great. It doesn't matter. It's because I just want you to start using your imagination.
Yeah,
So I'm just trying to help you get there, really. And whatever comes up is perfect. And so you're never right or wrong. You're always right, really. It's your subconscious coming forth, and that's just what we want.
Amazing. I feel like I've learned so much.
I feel very calm too. You have a very calming presence, which is nice.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Because we don't have calming presence.
Yeah. We're a lot.
It's all good. I love you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
we love you guys.
Honestly, I sit there and listen. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like I know you already when I don't. And I sit there and it's like, oh, I'm kind of sitting in the same room laughing with you out loud, literally about whatever you're talking about on your podcast.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I think that's the goal.
Are funny.
Yeah. I just want to bring a little bit of joy to everybody.
Okay.
You do. Definitely.
And I think my favorite thing is getting to know people like you.
Yeah.
And like, just because I literally would have never, I've been like, okay, hypnotherapy, that's cool. But now I'm just like, okay, yeah, like I can see how you're passionate about it. And like, I'm just like, it makes perfect sense now that we've sat and talked about it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you.
Do you have any shout outs or anything before we?
Ooh, some shout outs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will shout out to Anything Printing, whose daughter helped me create Girls Club.
Love it.
They're a printing facility here in Belleville. He's been around for quite some time. And you can get anything printed there. And of course, Renew Wellness.
Yeah.
Well,
I
yes.
love the clinic. The clinic is a great spot. Everybody there is wicked. And you should come on out.
Well, thank you for coming. This was a joy.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm super grateful. That was amazing.
Shut her down.
Yeah.
That was amazing. So good.
That was very good.
It was like an easy edit too, because the conversation was just so beautiful.
Just flowed really good.
Yeah, it was like a good first episode back for me to edit.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nothing
And
too tricky.
I think I learned a lot about hypnotherapy. I was hypnotized. I guess hypnotherapy was used in one of my therapy sessions when I was in high school, and I didn't love it. But I think how she explained it, like how you're just rewiring your brain, it made so much sense to me when it was explained that way. And one thing that really stuck with me was she said in it, a lot of people who are addicted to smoking, they just want to take a deep breath. And I'm like, that makes so much sense, but you've just wired your brain that like you get a deep breath when you smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but also very hard.
It's the habit, right?
Yeah.
It's damn. I forgot about that part of the conversation. And it's like, it's true though. Like that's all you want.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to take a deep breath. Sometimes I realize I'm like holding my breath when I'm anxious.
Oh yeah. I started
like-
doing that the last like 2 weeks. I was like, why do I feel so tense? And I'm like, oh yeah, exhale.
Yeah, breathe. Take a deep breath. No, it's a struggle. I also think the season change is hard. I struggle through season change.
Yeah.
Especially.
I don't want to say I struggle through season change, but I do. But like, I'm way happier with this weather.
I don't know. I think it's like the lack of sunshine, like the day. I think it's the minimum daylight. Like it gets dark so quick
Yeah.
is my struggle. But so if you are struggling through it, we're here for you. Cry with us.
Same.
We're feeling it.
Same.
This episode's coming out late, so sorry.
What do we have coming up?
Well, next week is actually just me with our guest because this week was a gong
because
show.
I'm home.
But so it's Nicola from Diamond Physiotherapy, and it was so fun. I didn't know we'd be talking about that. We talk about sex. We talk about poop. We talk about physiotherapy and the benefits of it and psychotherapy and all the things.
Amazing.
So-
I'm really stoked to listen to it.
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed it. And do you have snaps to give?
Snaps to literally you for holding shit down so well this week, even being jet lagged and sick and doing the Not a Trade show with the chamber and presenting for me and for yourself with, well, mostly for me with no preparation.
I don't think it was great, but I did it. I blacked out. I got through it.
Just you're a total badass, and I'm just really grateful that
So are you.
I have you. I'm just grateful I have you as a friend, and I missed you.
I missed you. And I feel like I haven't been that helpful this week because you've been spiraling and I'm just like, stop it.
But I think that's what I need.
Don't do that.
I just need someone to be like, you're spiraling. Stop doing that.
Yeah, I think I still, sometimes when people are spiraling, I need to be more like, what do you need from me? Like, do you want me to try and fix it or do you just need me to listen? I need to get better at that because I'm always just like, I'll fix it. How can I fix it?
Yeah, I'm that way too.
So I'm trying to get better at that. Sorry,
I'm just trying to stop spiraling.
You're gonna get there. You sent me that TikTok and I think we should share it where like you know you're spiraling, like you know you're burning out and you're just like, let's pile it on.
Yeah,
and you just can't stop.
Well, see, in my brain, it's like, okay, what can I do to distract myself from all of these icky feelings?
Mm-hmm.
So then I add more to my plate, and then I add more, and then I add more, just to try to like block out the negative stuff that I don't want to deal with.
Yup.
And then eventually it gets to be a lot.
And then you crumble.
And then I stay home for 2 days. And
But when you can pull it, like, I give mad props to people who can go through depression, go through anxiety, and still pull themselves out at the other end.
yeah,
There's
always
nothing,
like a light.
Mhm.
It's just gotta, sometimes it's really dim. You just gotta keep going.
But you gotta, like, people fighting for that light, keep going. You're doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's there. Do I have snaps? I think I'll give snaps to the chamber. Like, I sometimes get overwhelmed at networking events, but the expo, the Not a Trade Show,
Yeah.
it was cool. It was fun. I met some cool people. The Mega Mingle was cool. Those are the only ones I made it to, but I think people had a lot of fun this week at Small Business Week, and just remember to support your small businesses, because we are very community oriented in Quinte. So
Yes, I think that, yeah, because otherwise we're just going to be a bunch of like big box stores.
yeah, exactly.
And everyone's going to be exactly the same and have all the same things. And I think that, I think supporting the small business every day, all day, and support your local media.
Yes, please.
Big snaps on, okay, because I think that's one thing that people just don't think about.
Mm-mm.
It's like you think supporting small business, you think of like, going downtown, you think of going, to the mall and supporting, some of the indie places that are in the mall. You think of supporting the home-based businesses, you think of supporting the things. But then when these businesses start to think about advertising, they forget that we are also a locally owned, not chain, like family owned business.
Yeah.
And, like we are shopping at your stores. We're in your community. Like we're going to be showing up to your not-for-profit events. We're going to, show up to the hockey games, like all over we're going to do all the things with you. And I think sometimes people forget that, and they're so easy. Like it's so easy to just dump money into Facebook, but like Facebook's not showing up to your shit. Like they don't care. They're just going to take your money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I genuinely, like when it comes to like marketing and advertising and all these things, it's like I think that our team like genuinely wants to see businesses succeed.
Oh yeah. I think we really care. The whole sales team, they all care about their clients and want to see them succeed.
God, yeah.
Like our goal is to help your business and try and fix any problems you're having. And I think people do forget that. Like, yeah, we're creating content. We're doing radio shows. We're making news broadcasts. We're putting digital news out there. But really our main thing is we're trying to help your businesses get your message out there.
Exactly.
That's really what we're doing here. And I don't think people realize that.
No, I think, well, because it's easy to just be like, oh, that's like super fun, entertaining, and it's music and it's whatever. But like the thing people forget too is like it's accessible to everybody. When you're marketing, it's like there's ways to do things that you may not think. Like we have tricks up our sleeve to make things work for you. Like it doesn't have to, we don't have to be dumping, like every single piece of profit you have into doing a successful campaign. Like we can long game this, like we can make this like a slow grow. Like it's not going to be instant results. Like that's not how things work. Like it's not, nobody, like marketing isn't Amazon. You don't get it like right away. So
no.
Anyways, that's my thing about, supporting not only local business, but like local media, like independently owned media. And
that's big. There's not a lot of us left. And Belleville is a very unique market, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
I can nerd out about media, like talking about local radio, local media. Like
I'll never shut up about it.
No,
ever.
It's so
I think
great.
It's like so cool. And I think our community is so lucky to be able to have that because, the Bell, the Rogers, the choruses, like they're shutting down like newspapers and like local radio stations, and like some communities just don't have local news. And I'm just like, okay, so like how do people find out about things?
I don't know.
Like, you know what I mean? Like how do people find out like, that a road is closed, or, there's like a community event happening, like where are people going besides like a Facebook group? But like what, I mean, we all know how toxic Facebook groups can be.
Yeah. I think it's just, I have so many thoughts about it.
I have many thoughts. I can go on forever, but I will stop right now.
I'm gonna say one more thing. So I had my first I'm playing indoor soccer.
Nice.
I'm on team, shout out Tim and Lana Paint Houses. That's my team.
Oh my God,
so
yay.
I'm playing with Lana. It's so fun. But I forgot. I did used to play like in the women's outdoor league. I've never played indoor, but women are pushy. Like, I forgot it gets feisty out there and they're so serious, and I'm like okay at soccer, but I'm just trying to have a good time. Like, and I think I really annoy people. But then when they start pushing into me, I'm like, let's play. Like, let's do this. I'm so right. And then they get mad at me and I'm like, I'm just playing back. What are we doing? It's so fun. So that's why everyone. Yeah, like you can come watch me one night. But like everyone looks totally so serious. Like, and I'm just like, oops.
I'm gonna bring Jeanette on a date to go watch you.
I do. Soccer. I don't think I can do it, but like I do want to mic myself up. Like I like put a mic somewhere and
I think
you would film it. I just think it'd be. I just say weird things.
Yes, I want that.
So
aggressively.
I think it could be funny. Let us know if you guys want that. But otherwise, I hope.
I don't care if they want it. I want it.
I want it. And I think you should share the squirrel video because I just look insane because you can't see what I'm looking at. That's really it. Do you have anything else?
I have nothing else. That's everything.
Okay, I guess I'll go edit this.
Yay, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to turn it off.
The Babies of Quinte podcast is recorded and produced at Starboard Communications, home of 95.5 Hits FM, Cool 100, and InQuinte.ca.